Here is the brutal truth about money. Nobody cares how much you make. The world only cares what you keep. We think financial geniuses are math wizards. We picture guys in tailored suits staring at spreadsheets. But that's a Hollywood illusion. Real money management isn't about numbers. It is entirely about managing your own ego. I've spent the last decade watching this unfold. I'm 35 now. I've seen buddies make $500,000 a year and still end up living paycheck to paycheck. I've also seen guys driving beat-up sedans. Guys who secretly sit on millions. The difference between them? It isn't intelligence. It's emotional regulation. Before we dive deep, just remember I'm sharing my perspective here. This is for educational purposes, not formal financial advice for your specific life. But let's get real. Our brains are basically wired to keep us broke. We are programmed for immediate survival. If we see a resource, we want to consume it immediately. That worked great for cavemen finding wild berries. It is an absolute disaster for modern humans with credit cards. People with extremely high money management skills know this. They recognize the glitch in human software. They don't trust their own impulses. They build systems to protect themselves from themselves. They realize that money is purely emotional energy. Every dollar you spend is a feeling you're trying to buy. Comfort, status, safety, power. The master doesn't kill the feeling. He just separates the feeling from his wallet. He pauses the movie in his head. He rewrites the script before the swipe. Let's talk about the dopamine trap. Most of us use money as an emotional band-aid. You had a rough day at work. Your boss yelled at you. You feel small and exhausted. So you order expensive takeout. Or you buy those shoes online. In that brief moment, you feel power again. You feel control. But it's fake control. Highly skilled money managers don't do this. They have decoupled spending from happiness. They actually embrace something most people hate. They embrace boredom. Good money management is incredibly boring. It's repetitive, predictable, and uneventful. And that is exactly the point. When you are constantly seeking thrills with your cash, you are riding an emotional roller coaster. The masters of money find their thrills elsewhere. They get dopamine from their relationships, from their health, or their hobbies, not from their checking account. I used to be terrible at this. I would get a bonus and immediately upgrade my life. Better car, better watch, fancier dinners. I was chasing a feeling. The high-stakes cycle trap is very real. But the wealthy mind views a growing bank account differently. They see it as stored energy. They look at their balance and feel security. That security becomes their new dopamine hit. They don't need the shiny new object, because the peace of mind feels infinitely better. It's a massive psychological shift. You stop asking what money can buy you today. You start asking what freedom it buys you tomorrow. And freedom, my friends, is quiet. It doesn't scream for attention. It just sits there, protecting you from the storm. Now let's look at the psychology of loss. Behavioral economists talk about loss aversion. It basically means losing hurts way more than winning feels good. Losing $100 stings bad. Finding $100 is just kind of nice. This completely wrecks average people. When average people see their portfolio drop, or they face an unexpected expense, they panic. They make emotional, knee-jerk decisions. They sell at the absolute worst time. They try to stop the psychological bleeding. People with elite money skills operate differently. They have trained their brains to accept the reality of loss. They don't tie their self-worth to a temporary dip. I remember watching a mentor of mine lose big. A massive business deal just completely fell apart. He lost tens of thousands of dollars in a single afternoon. I expected him to be furious. I expected a total meltdown. Instead, he just shrugged. He said it was the cost of tuition in the real world. He reframed the loss as a data point. It wasn't a failure. It was just feedback. He stripped the emotion right out of the math. That is a superhuman level of psychological control. They anticipate the bad days. They mentally pre-spend their emergency fund. So when the car engine blows up, or the roof springs a leak, it isn't a tragedy. It is just a Tuesday. They already made peace with the expense months ago. By removing the shock factor, they completely neutralize the fear. And fear is the ultimate enemy of wealth. Let's talk about the invisible script of status. This is the hardest boss to beat in the money game. Society runs on a very toxic assumption. We assume that if you have money, you show it. We buy things with money we don't have, to impress people we don't even like. It is a profound psychological sickness. I see it everywhere in American culture. The guy making 90 grand a year. driving an $80,000 truck. He is suffocating under a mountain of payments. But his ego demands that he look successful. The financially elite are the masters of stealth wealth. They actively avoid looking rich. Why? Because looking rich paints a target on your back. It creates pressure. It forces you to maintain an impossible standard. The truly skilled have silenced their ego. They do not need your validation. They know their net worth, and that is enough. They wear plain t-shirts. They drive cars they bought in cash a decade ago. They live in neighborhoods below their means. They have disconnected their identity from their possessions. This is incredibly rare in today's world. Instagram tells us to flaunt everything. But the master of money knows a secret. Wealth is what you do not see. Wealth is the cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the first-class tickets declined. It is the unspent options that give you true power. When you stop playing the status game, you instantly give yourself a massive raise. You free up all that psychological energy, and you keep all that cash in your own pocket. At the end of the day, it comes down to identity. Who do you believe you are? Are you a consumer, or are you a builder? Consumers are trapped in a reactive loop. They get paid. They feel an urge. They spend. They are at the mercy of their own brain chemistry. Builders are proactive. They construct a psychological fortress. They delay gratification not because they are cheap, but because their future vision is stronger than their current impulse. I want you to really think about this tonight. Look at your last 5 big purchases. What emotion were you secretly trying to buy? Were you buying relief? Were you buying validation? Once you name the emotion, you take its power away. You start to build that elite level of management. It takes time. It takes a lot of self-reflection, but it is the only way to truly win. You have to master your mind before your money. Because a fool with $1 million is just a fool who will soon be broke. But a disciplined mind with $10 is a future millionaire in the making. Financial peace is an inside job. It always has been. If this hit home for you, I need you to do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button right now. Drop a like on this video and leave a comment below. Tell me the dumbest thing you ever bought for status. Let's start a real conversation down there. I read every single one. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I'll see you in the next one.